This morning, I'm not coming in with answers. I'm coming in heavy. I've been sitting with something since last week. We've seen multiple tragedies in Virginia and Louisiana. Families shattered, women, children, babies gone. And I'm struggling, not just because of the pain those families are in, but because each of these cases, it's black men at the center of the harm. And before anything else, my heart is with those families, especially the children who lost parents and families who lost babies. That kind of loss changes everything, and it really should change us. But we also can't pretend that these are isolated incidents. This is happening too often across the country. And the conversations that I'm hearing right now, especially online and in social, is forcing us to a place where only one thing can be true at a time. And what I've seen in comments and commentary troubles me, that men are the monsters, narcissists, and simply selfish. And there's truth there, that black women and children are the victims. Totally facts. But there isn't much complexity used to assess terribly complex domestic and family dynamics. And that if you bring up mental and emotional health, it's almost like you're making excuses for men and denying accountability, justice, and ultimate protection that our women deserve. And I don't accept that, because both things are true. These men are responsible. Full stop. And we have to be honest about how a man can get to that point. I don't know what makes you kill your children. And ignoring mental and emotional health doesn't create accountability. It potentially creates more funerals. And so here's what I need our brothers to hear. Unhealed men are dangerous, not just to ourselves, but to the people who love and surround us most. And too often, that's black women and our children. Now, if we're going to be real about solutions and not just proclamations, we have to talk about what's underneath this. And part of it is structural. For generations, policies and systems in this country have disrupted black families, separated us, criminalized us, and weakened the relationship between black men and women. And that didn't just disappear. Some of that damage we're now carrying. And if we're not intentional, we can and do end up playing it out on each other. And part of it is personal and clinical. Despite increased resources, we continue to have generations of men dealing with undressed trauma, emotional isolation, and no real pathway to healing. We've continued to normalize silence. We've continued to normalize being strong, but we haven't yet normalized being well or making thriving an aspiration. And that combination is dangerous. So if we know our mental and emotional health impacts how we show up for us, our families, our relationships, our communities, then healing can't be optional. It's a responsibility, and we have got to be accountable to that. So brothers, this is on us. Checking on each other is not enough anymore, because a lot of us ask, "You good?" But we don't know what to say or do when the answer is no, or worse, hell no. We need tools. We need more spaces and knowledge to create them. We need more accountability rooted in love. We need circles where men can be honest and be supported towards healing, because if we don't heal, we risk turning our pain into harm. So I'm not trying to solve this in one morning show segment. I don't have all those answers. But what I'm saying is this: we need to talk about this and move differently and consistently. Over the next few weeks, I'm opening up a series during my morning show segment, Men Thrive Mondays. We're going to unpack this: mental and emotional health, trauma, masculinity, relationships, and how we actually build healthy circles for our brothers. And I want to bring clinicians, brothers doing the work, real solutions, because this is not about reacting to these two disgusting tragedies. It's about preventing the next one. And if you're a mental health or emotional health professional, I need your help. When we see a man isolated, shutting down, or spiraling, what are the steps we need to take to actually support? Not theory, real steps that we can use to save lives. And there are organizations like Black Men Heal, Therapy for Black Men, Beam, that are already doing this work and connecting brothers to real help. If we're serious about healing, then men doing the work is not optional. It's a responsibility. Accountability is part of protecting our sisters, but it's not the whole answer. If we don't also heal the trauma men carry, we'll keep showing up broken in the very relationships we are called to protect. That's what I got for y'all this morning.